Welcome to Papa Dave's something, okay? You'll see this on Twitter, Facebook, I'll have it on my webpage, etc. I want to talk about the conversion that I did on my 1969 Camaro that had a 350 4-barrel, and I converted it over to MSD Atomic. I chose the Atomic for a couple of reasons. One, if I'm going to do fuel injection, you might as well tie it into the spark timing. The vehicle already had an MSD ready-to-run distributor and a 6A L box. The cleanest way to convert a system to the timing is to go directly from MSD to MSD. I got the Atomic. Vanna Brunette, please, would you hand me the Atomic EFI box? I bought the MSD Atomic EFI from Summit. It had a holiday savings of $900. You really couldn't beat that deal. And the next thing you need to do is you need to make a decision of how you want to fuel it. You could do that one of two ways. Excuse me, one of three ways. One, you could have the fuel pump inside the tank or outside. Or the second question is if you want a deadhead with a single line or a dual line. My goal was to make it as simple as possible, and I bought the Holly system, part number 12, coming up the part number, okay? The part number, can you see that? 12300 is the exact fit for the 69 Camaro fuel tank. You remove the sending unit, it comes with the great connectors to work with, and you can go with one line out, use the existing steel fuel line, and come directly to the throttle body injection without running lines throughout the bottom. A lot of companies want you to run lines, and with all the cuts and bends, you almost need Google Maps to follow those lines right there. So come a little forward, please. So the first thing I did, I put the Holly fuel pump in this Holly fuel pump in, ran a line directly from the fuel pump over to the steel tubing line. I had to use an adapter. The Holly fuel pump comes out at 5/16, and the line into the body line is 3/8. Jegs makes a great adapter that goes from 5/16 to 3/8 that you could use for high pressure lines. I used the Russell high pressure lines and their clamps. I came up through here, used a Russell fitting, quick connect fittings, and put a Russell 40 micron filter right here. And this was the easiest part, is bolting on the throttle body. The second consideration that you need to have, is where you're going to put your oxygen sensor. I use a stock exhaust manifold, and the spacer plate that is the early fuel out evaporation riser. I was able to modify that with by drilling and tapping that for an oxygen sensor, and on the passenger side exhaust manifold, I installed the oxygen sensor. Last but not least, most important is where you're going to make your connections on the battery. I ran adapters off the side post terminal so I can get my positive connections for both the MSD Atomic, the 6A L box, and the ground. I even ran the ground wire from the fuel pump all the way up through here. After that, after bolting everything together, it was very simple. Turn the key, started right up, and the only thing you have to do afterwards was adjust your throttles. Okay? The only thing that I don't like about the system is the way the line comes out right here. I use a little spacer above the throttle body so the air filter does not hit these fittings right here. In the distributor, I had to take the distributor apart to pin the distributor for a fixed rotor. I would say if there's one improvement to the system, the rotor is a two-piece system that's only secured with one screw. I would like to see a rotor come out for this system that was already pinned at negative 15 degrees, and that would make everything a lot simpler. Other than that, the system runs great. I chose to run the Edelbrock Performer intake manifold. It was very simple to get my ECT cooling sensors right here. I bundled my wires up right here. Even though these are push connect fittings, I did use a EFI style hose clamp right here, and I heat shielded them as well. If I were to make one change to the system, I would add a Schrader valve in my pressure line, so if I ever wanted to bleed the lines to service something, it'd be very easy to bleed it. Other than that, it started up, ran perfect. And I believe the only way to do an EFI conversion is to tie the spark timing in. Vanna Brunette, Vanna White, what would you like to be called today?
Whatever you want.
Whatever, okay. Get inside, turn the key, and let's hear this baby roar. Oh, you don't need to throttle the cables anymore. Still using the carburetor, you throttle the pedal 1 or 2 times. One last thing. Do not try to cut EFI fuel hose without a proper cutting tool. Using a hacksaw will give you jagged edges and you won't come out straight. Give it the gas, a time or two. And that's it. The MSD Atomic is the way to go. Integrate the spark timing, smooth and simple. Just take your time planning out where you're going to make all your wiring connections. Thank you.